Let
If
me
you
check. I have all their photos in the thing, but give me a second.
I'd also love a brief statement from anyone who knew what happened at Polito, if you do it in the reports channel, and if you could just like.
That's fine.
cover
Yeah, no,
a statement
I'll
of your involvement in.
I can do the brunt of most of that. Obviously, everyone should have a statement, but I can discuss mostly
TLDR
as
of
to what
everyone's
happened.
involvement if you
Sure.
shot a gun mostly, but if anyone knows what happened in Polito, if you could just give me a TLDR report for Polito.
That's fine. Do you want me to say a TLDR to you? Not for you to write down, but do you need any of that information now?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm not posting it to anyone. I just want to make sure the report in case he lawyers up.
So
I gotcha. Also, Leisha, I said it to you before, but I'm gonna say it again. Your negotiations were fine. They pushed quite a bar on this.
They pushed way too much of a bar.
Yeah. So your negotiations were fine. Divine and myself took over from there after because of that. So you're fine.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't think you talked over me. In fact, it was probably for the best because they were just starting to argue.
Well, yeah.
They were arguing stuff that are bizarre.
Well, I mean, the other partial...
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. The other partial issue is that he was offered the same negotiation 4 times, and he he took it after the third one.
I gave him that same... I literally... He just didn't care what I said, and then you said it, and then he didn't care, and then it came from the trooper, and then he cared. So it is what it is.
What's up?
Okay, so I was trying to say this, but I kept getting talked over. Mikey Silver had the 4 thermite charges, 4 sturdy drills, and then he had the bat and the crowbar. The other individual is the one that had the high power branding.
Okay, so Mikey did not have a gun.
No.
Okay,
Mikey had the 4 thermite charges, the drill, and the access codes.
Okay, so I'm charging with possession in the 3rd degree.
Then do you know who had that weapon then?
Yeah, I'm putting it.
Now, how much time do you want to give them off? I know they've been here for a while. It's up to you, Flop.
Honestly, at this point,
I always think I was gonna give them, if it's like past their amount they went through, I was gonna give them 5 months, but that's up to you.
I mean, they're all pleading not guilty, anyways.
Yeah. The reality is, I believe, it's if they run out their time, it's 20% of the total, if I remember correctly. I'm honestly at this point cool with whatever. As long as I get to have a word with Dundee and explain to him what's going on about threatening
you can
hostages.
send them up for a month, as long as it's between
Yeah.
mark. Yeah.
I think, I don't like doing them a month. I feel like that's kind of slap in the face. Like, we could just put them at parole at that point. I like doing like at least 5 or like 10 months.
It's discretionary, but no more than 20%.
Oh, chat. Oh, chat.
I think if you're happy with your charges, you should be good to start processing people.
Yeah, that's all good.
We need to and ah. If we miss a charge, it is what it is.
Who's
It was kind of a messy call, but everyone did really well. We got hostages out, and that's the main thing.
I want to.
Charges are kind of.
No, you're good. I think overall the outcome was what we needed. I'm going to apologize for how long that prolonged for. There were a couple things there that were in question from a couple other people, and it was kind of difficult with Dundee screaming in my ear while also trying to manage that. But overall, the outcome was what we needed, and it's what we got. So if anyone wants to talk to me after about it or have any questions, that's fine. Let's get everyone processed first. As well as if whoever's processing Dundee, just at least staying with me and just doing him last so that I could talk to him without, again, 5 people screaming at me while I try and discuss why this got to this point.
I'm gonna send my guy up.
Okay. Let me send my guy up.
Awesome. Who's who's processing Dundee?
I am.
Awesome.
And I really have to ace this because of the shit I'm under right now.
No, you're good. You're fine. You're chilling.
No, if I fuck this up, I'm in trouble. So I have to, yeah. That's why I'm so pertinent on, hey, did he have a gun?
Well, who's the female that's... Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's Elaine Taylor.
Gotcha. I'll go talk to you real quick. Give me a second. Hey, do you need food or water?
Food, water, yes.
Okay. I need you to stay near the desk, okay?
I mean, I'm cuffed. So
Okay,
I can't
okay,
really do
okay, okay.
anything.
I got you. Here you go.
Just wandering because.
I have food. I don't have water. Which one do you need more?
Food.
Okay. There you
I
go.
took my food.
I'm sorry.
Wait, what's your name?
Name's Flop.
Flop. Got it.
What's your
What's
name?
up, Flop? Elena.
Good to meet you, Elena.
Oh, you were talking to Wayne the other day when he decided to flip the giant sand king over yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
remember, I complimented your shoes.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I did. Okay.
Well, if you need anything else, let me know. Your processing officer should be in here in just a minute, and you should be good to go, right?
All right. Sounds
All right.
good. Thank you.
Not a problem, Elena. All right.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
Give me 1 sec. I'm just writing some notes down real quick.
I plead the fifth.
What you gonna do? Cuff me?
Give me 1 second. There we go.
Fuck you.
Probably the dumbest.
Oh, is he good? You good?
Oh. All right, can you get a statement from her as well? Because she said she got a phone call. Was he? Okay, so this is a.
Do you need me? You good?
Flop, I do need you, but not right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Right here.
All right, perfect. I went up.
Okay, awesome. Tommy, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Hey, Dundee. We got your charges. Are you wanting to discuss what happened at all? So that there's at least an understanding. Not anything that we talk about is going to affect the charges that you were getting. This is more of a conversation because I was the one that made the call. If there's no reason for me to be here to try and discuss what went down, I'm willing to explain to you why we got to this point. If you would not like to know, that is perfectly fine. Okay. Fantastic. Go ahead, Tommy.
First degree robbery, kidnapping, accomplice kidnapping, felony trespassing, possession of contraband in the third degree, and evading. Altogether come out to 84 months with 168 months parole, $8,850 fine, and 2 points on your license.
Not guilty.
Okay. All right, let's see how long you've been in custody for.
Flop.
Bars be
Hold on.
thick. Big custody for 54 minutes. Will be a 54 month reduction on your time today.
Oh yeah, go. You go for it. I'm not gonna touch it for a hot minute.
According to the wiki, in 4 weeks you'll be a part of the PD for 2 years.
Right,
Has it
just
been
sent the
2
bill
years?
over.
Jesus. Dundee, I'm going to ask you again. Do you want to discuss this at all?
I invoke the fifth.
Well, you've already pled to your charges. At this point, your Fifth Amendment right is not going to incriminate you here. You're not going to be looking at any further charges.
Actually, that helps me out because that means he actually knows what his rights mean. So
I don't understand my rights.
too late. You're going up for 30 months, 168 months parole.
Everyone else got 10 months. Why's mine different?
That's
Because I
wrong.
guess
Not
it's-
everyone got 10 months. They got separate time for the amount that they're being sent in for.
Yeah. Also, my job's at stake. The last time I negotiated months with you, so
That's
Yeah.
my fault.
yeah, a little bit. I'd say a little
I'm
column
sorry
A,
you're
column B.
incompetent.
Yeah, well, I really wish you would talk to me about those feathers. Later, Dundee.
How much did you?
Right.
Oh, I was gonna say I was gonna do 25 because that'd be 60 months.
That's fine. I mean, listen, I offered him an opportunity to talk about the reason why we escalated, but if he doesn't want to know, I mean, it's not my job
what
to
is-
explain.
I'm gonna do something that's unheard of in this PD and directly talk to you about what my frustration is instead of going to everyone else about it.
Do you want to talk privately?
Yes, Rudy, can you give me some distance? Tell me.
Okay.
Damn it, I was hoping it was
I'm
only.
gonna say the
Nosy
same thing to
Nellies.
be honest with you.
Well, I gotta be nosy while I can. I might be gone soon.
Why would he be gone?
Tommy, you're gonna be fine, okay?
I'm fucked. Excuse me.
Is he like on the verge of being fired or something?
I have no idea.
Okay. I get that you guys are probably debriefing about the importance of whatever that call was, but at the moment, I really needed all three of you to come over and grab a 95 and not wait for other 77s to show up to do it, because we were just kind of sitting our thumbs, and Lexington was quite literally processing 3 people on her own.
Who? Okay, this is where speaking needs to come in though. Who else was on scene that was not doing something, or who else was also on scene? Because the issue
There was people taking evidence. There was Alicia was taking evidence. Keon was taking a statement. Rudy had someone. Like, that was all we had until Tommy and others were able to show up. Like, we didn't have anyone. And I feel like whatever you guys were talking about could have waited till after. And I kind of made that clear when I was like, hey, we need people. Come on, please.
One sec. Do you mind giving us just a minute?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Thank you.
Like, I respect the hell out of you, Flop, which is why I'm coming to you instead of, going around and being like, God, also
God damn it.
all the DOC just got wiped by them.
Mm-hmm.
That was all of them, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, check on 5 and see if there's any DOC standing.
So, in that situation, there were 3 of us that were talking on the side. Out of the 3 people, I counted upwards of 8 to 10 other cops. We don't need 5 cops that are processing evidence. Should I have talked afterwards? You're 100%. 100%. I was pulled to the side to have a conversation with a commanding member, and I was just talking to them. Lovesick at the time was doing scene control, and I kind of appreciated that he was willing to take that over. If that is something that you want to bring up, I'm more than willing to pass it above me so that at least somebody is aware that we did that. If you think that it needs to go somewhere,
I
thought-
just think that
Be advised at this time we
Mhm.
believe all these
I don't want to say
people
this
are not
poor
done. However,
deputy
there's
over
been
here
no
because
alpha,
she's
so there's a
perfectly
bit
capable
of
of doing
chance
stuff,
of
but like, just a single officer trying to take on 395s because no one else is coming over to help at all. It's just ridiculous.
Well, that's why I spoke up, and you also spoke up though, which was good. If people are being incompetent on scenes in general, that's a problem, right? If people are just standing around and fucking off, or people are assisting others with something that only takes 2 people, we don't need 5 units, processing casings at Polito Bank. It's one area. It's within a walking distance to get through the entire scene. There's absolutely no reason why we should have that many units. If there was anybody that was standing around and doing nothing, you can let me know. I will take the fall and say yes. We probably could have discussed this after.
Besides Tommy, who showed up when we asked for help, everyone who was here processing, Keon, Rudy, Leisha, were all doing something. Whether it was Keon was taking the hostage statements, Leisha was collecting or documenting the evidence from that car and the casings, or who's the third one? Keon was taking. Yeah, everyone was doing something, right?
Okay.
I don't know what other blips you saw, but that was all we had.
Well, I know Barrick was on scene. I also know that Air One was dropping off a co-pilot. I know that Tips was gonna bring back Air One and come back and help process somebody. So I will take the fall
I believe
on that.
Barrick broke off.
Yeah, a couple units did just fuck off immediately after, and yeah, that's something that needs to get brought up. In a situation like that, everybody showed up and then everybody left as quick as they showed up, which was a problem. So as soon as that happened, that did become an issue. I'm sorry that happened. That was not my intention. Honest to God, from what I had saw before, believe that there were enough units, sufficient enough to help with everything. We should never have somebody having one person processing everybody. That one I will bring up and I will voice. That shouldn't have happened. So not really much else to say, though. Unfortunately, it happened. I will address it, and I will make sure that it doesn't happen again. What we were discussing, yes, could have been discussed after the fact.
That's what I think needs to happen in the future. It's just we can debrief about after. I know we hate the whole like everyone meet in MRPD to debrief and get to do your job announcements, but that is probably the best way to go about it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I will bring it up with Divine and Bones and myself, and I will pass it along to somebody above me so that they can evaluate the way that we proceeded.
All right.
So that it is.
Sounds like DOC need our help because they're just getting fucking shit on by these guys.
Okay. I need to go 10-7 for a minute. I will try and show up as soon as I can. I need to also write this statement. So.
All right, 977. I'm around to the prison. All right, can we get a couple 77s for Channel 5?
Hey, were you the officer that was processing 3 people originally?
Yeah.
Could I talk to you on the side real quick? I apologize. I did not realize that I didn't hear anyone mention on radio that we had.
Can we talk somewhere else because we can hear you right there? By the way.
Oh well, you stood there the whole time.
I was being polite.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind talking. I don't think it's anything that.
I do.
Okay, that's fine. We'll go elsewhere. I'll be right back, Chuck.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. What's going on?
Like I feel bad that I had to process the 3 people, but I was standing there by myself with 5 bodies laying around me, and no one was saying or doing anything, and like it was to the point where I was like, well, I can see 3 people across the street talking, and Blondie Boy was standing there with a finger up his ass and just shit talking them. So I just started. So if I'm in the wrong for doing
You were no. You were not in the wrong at all. In fact, I'm actually siding with you here. I'm gonna be blunt. We had, for lack of a better term, beyond the amount of units that we would have needed for that call. And as soon as they were all shot down, from what I'm realizing now, half of them broke off and didn't help with a single thing. And that's a problem in itself. The other issue too to address is my accountability there. Should I have been standing off to the side? Probably not. I tried to step away, and to put it simply, a commanding member, I think you can figure out who within the context of the three people that were standing there, if you add in me, he wanted to finish his point and finish his conversation with me. I was unaware during that there were people that were kind of antagonizing the whole thing and not helping out, which is an issue. If you have names of officers that were on scene that weren't doing anything, I would be more than willing. Okay, I will talk to Rudy. Was there anyone else on scene that you saw that was not doing anything or doing enough that you think could have been doing something? Because I'm going to be honest, it sounds like we had a lot of people processing evidence too. Even though there was not much to process, we didn't need as many people as we did there. The priority there should have been the 95s, and I thank you so much for actually prioritizing them. I'm going to bring up with my command our conversation that we had, not you and me, just me stepping to the side, because I do believe that my accountability should be in line with everybody else's accountability. I'm not God, you know what I mean? I'm not untouchable. If I make mistakes, I think it's good to address them regardless. So I will do my due diligence to let my command know that, hey, this happened and this is what's going on and this is what this officer had to do. So I will take the blame for that.
Can I speak freely without fear of repercussions?
Of course.
I was one of the first units. I was the second unit to show up at the power station, and I was the second unit to show up at the bank. And I mean this with the utmost respect. You had 5 officers on both scene, all trying to be the head chef and talking over each other, but not actually listening to each other. And you were lead on scene, but it felt like you weren't. And you're really nice, and I love that about you, because I'm like, I'm watching. I've been here a month. I'm keeping an eye on everybody. You need to put your foot down and say, look, this is what it's doing, because Blondie over there was like going against what you were saying, and then the other guy was going against what you were saying, and the rest of us Littletons, which is like me, were just standing there like, I just want a direction. I just tell me what you need me to do so I can do it.
That was part of the conversations. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. I listen. There's things about that I need to address, and the things that I need to work on for that. Right. The other issue that came in was that a commanding member of mine stepped in to take over negotiations, and it became more Ripley was going to lead that, and so I took a backseat to let Ripley take his lead, and he did not follow through to the Polito Bank, which then put me in a weird spot to try and get a better understanding as to what happened with the prior negotiations.
Yeah.
I should have told Ripley to begin with that I will take his suggestion, but that this needs to be my scene. I think all of that would have been avoided if that were the case. I will talk to Rudy, and I will talk to any other officers. We tried to manage it. It was a shit show of a scene. I'm going to be honest with you. I was confused myself. I also arrived late, and that was something that I needed to address better. So I do apologize.
You don't need to. I'm a freaking cadet. You don't need to apologize to me for anything.
I don't want anyone on scene feeling confused, though. I mean, that's a problem. That's something that I need to. I need that constructive criticism.
I would just like to say that this is this is the third major scene I've gone to with you where pretty much the same thing has happened. And it's not just you. I've seen other people do it now too, where there will be a scene lead and then somebody else comes in and then they partially take it over, and then there's 2 scene leads, and then you guys don't want to step over each other, so then nobody really does anything, and it just turns into this hot mess. And then all the youngins start pitching in because they see that nothing's happening, and they're like, "Hey, let's do shit." And then you get people like Rudy talking when he should be shutting up, and it just makes everything so messy. So if it was like, "Hey, I'm scene lead, shut up and listen," with all due respect, if I need your help, I will ask for it, and I will transfer seed lead if I require it, but I will tell you. But until then, you need to shut up and listen, because it's very much right now, and it has been since I moved here, where it feels like everybody wants to be the head chef, but no one's actually following the menu. And it's really annoying as a cadet trying to follow the lead and do as I'm told, but nobody's actually going, "Hey, do A, B, and C." They're just going, "Well, maybe A, well, maybe C, well, maybe C. I don't know. Actually, let's just stand
Yeah.
here."
When I'm gonna be honest, I ignored all of the other opinions from everybody else. Me and Divine spoke, and I made the call. The other scene prior, what was the third scene that you thought was confusing outside of the not Polito, not the other bank robbery? What was the third scene?
The last night at Polito.
Last night at
Where
Polito?
I was, or maybe it was the night before, I was outside, crossed, at a gun pointed. We were going to shoot the car when they left. Everybody agreed that we were going to shoot the car that when they left. And then one person went, "Oh, I'm going to go down here. Oh, I'm going to go down there." And then they got in the
Okay.
car and there was no one left to shoot them.
So when I had moved you, the reason I moved you is because where you were stationed, you were in direct line of sight with the hostage, which is not a position we can be in when it comes to opening fire on a vehicle. When I had told you to move, I'm going to be honest with you, that was another situation that I needed to address anyway. Stonefinger, I said, was to be on Procopio and Great Ocean Highway, and he was nowhere near there. But the reason why I had made the call in that situation, besides the fact that we were obviously going to open fire regardless, there was no way we were going to let a judge just casually walk away from that as a person. We did not have the sufficient units for a Polito bank. What we had there was a couple units. And the reason I made the call that I did was because without the units there to actually secure every street, we needed to go with what we knew were the only exits possible. And those were going to be both ends of Procopio. Those were the only places that they could have gone.
So one thing,
Mhm.
Stonefinger was where he was because one of the suspects inside the bank ran out, jumped on that bike, and took off. And he called out on a radio that he was leaving and that he was pursuing and that he had pulled him over. And then you told me to go help him. So I went to go help him. And that's why I thought you told me to go help him, because he had a suspect pulled over and nobody was helping him.
You had a suspect pulled over?
Yeah, the guy on the bike who had all the loot snuck out the door, and
On the
he
back?
called it in the back and nobody responded.
I didn't
And they
hear
said, "I
that.
have him pulled over." And I was like, "Okay." And like, I was like, everybody was going everywhere else, and he called for 77s twice. And he's like,
Stonefinger
"I
should have
have
let
this
that guy go.
Well,
We
he was
did
the guy
not-
that had all the loot.
Yeah, the issue though is we did not have the units at that point. I don't care about the money. I don't give a fuck about the money. At a bank robbery, the money doesn't mean shit. It's insured. My goal there was the priority was the judge. Stonefinger shouldn't have even been on that bike to begin with. At that point, it didn't matter what they were stealing or taking. I don't care if they got it all. My goal there was the people that kidnapped the judge and held him at gunpoint. And the people leaving out the front was the priority there. It was not the loot. So I didn't realize that Stonefinger chased after that bike. The
Yeah,
goal
we went
there...
in a full 80 with him and everything, and that's why he called for Air One or for Motor to help chase the bike. And
he should have
then-
not been on that. No, that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, no.
And then for my positioning, I know that I was in direct line of the hostage. I was aiming at the two front tires of the car.
I understand. The issue though is we need to be certain in our calls, and the certainty there was that if they were not out of line of sight from the hostage, what was to stop 4 people from getting out and doming the judge, right? So the reason I had you move, because the issue is, okay, so the issue with Stonefinger is that he should not have pursued. I had made the call on radio that we are shooting this stratum because this is the priority now. I didn't realize he chased after the bike. I told Stonefinger that he needed to stay on Procopio and Great Ocean to be ready to open fire on the vehicle, because at least at that point, there would have been minimal to no chance that they would have turned back to start opening fire. The fact that that happened, I'm gonna be honest, was not okay. I actually didn't even realize that someone snuck out the back until now.
But this is kind of what I mean by like, and it was the same thing in that scene too. I think Carter is his name, was talking and giving orders, and you were talking and giving orders, and somebody else was saying that they were doing stuff, and it got jumbled, and there wasn't a clear directive, and it just turned into hot spicy diarrhea.
Like I said, that's something that I can definitely address. That's something that I can address. I'm gonna be honest with you. In my first, respectfully, 3 days of a sergeant, I've been given 3 dumpster fires, and there is a break-in period here that I'm working on myself. So I'm doing everything that I can to get through these growing pains.
Hey, I'm a cadet. You could literally just tell me to shut up.
No.
I don't know anything.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is for as long as I've been in the PD. I don't give a flying fuck if someone's a cadet or the chief of police, right? Constructive criticism is constructive criticism, and the only way that we ever are gonna do better in the PD as a whole is to hear each other out. I don't give a fuck if someone's got 5 stripes or someone's got no stripes, right?
Okay, well, from this no striper, I'm just gonna tell you it is as is, and you can strike me if you want to. Tell people to shut the fuck up and run your scenes, and don't allow people to talk over you, because then it's not your scene anymore, and people are just constantly talking over you. And
I'm gonna be honest.
much better.
I'm gonna be honest. This is mainly a shift 2 thing that I will have to address.
Welcome to shift 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to address this with the shift 2 sergeants, that this is a problem. This never happens in shift 3. So I will.
Yeah, you got a lot of big personalities in shift 2, and a lot of people who think they're like, what's Batman? Yeah, Batman works.
Batman?
And yeah, they think they're all Batman, and they all have really big personalities. And then you have people like me who just kind of hang out and watch and do as they're told. But then when nobody is doing what they're told, I'm like, okay, enough. It's time. Let's go. I'm sick of this. But I'm also a cadet, and I don't want to get in trouble. So.
You're not going to get in trouble for speaking your mind. I mean, listen. Yes, there is a chain of command there that if someone is leading a scene, not to step in on their scene. I'm going to be honest with you. The entire Polito thing today was a shit show to begin with. It swapped hands multiple times and was even confusing for me as to who was even leading it by the end. So
food. I'm gonna dig in your pocket.
Yes, I have one biscuit.
I'm taking it.
Okay. I'm sorry. You've been on 3 very. I'm not gonna lie.
Say sorry.
No. The Polito yesterday annoyed me because I wanted to know why the preservation there wasn't the priority on the judge that was taken.
Because you allowed other people to talk over you. That's why.
Well, I don't think so.
No, that's really why. As someone who sat there and listened to all of it.
The only person that talked over though was Carter staying on the main pursuit.
No, not while you were at the bank. While you were actually sitting there talking, there were like 3 different people giving on commands of what we should be doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't take anyone's directive on that. I will tell people to shut the fuck up. I'm gonna be honest. In those calls, I can't. In some regard, I can't individually tell everyone to stop. If I'm talking to someone about making a call, I need to just focus on what I'm doing and make the final call. If you know someone's leading a scene, then that's one thing. If you're confused about who's leading a scene, that's another problem, and that's something that I need to address with the shift 2 sergeants, because that is not something that I've seen in other shifts, as negatively as I've seen it in shift 2. So I will address that with the shift 2 command, and hopefully see if we can just remind people that, hey,
like I've heard Pawn on radio during a scene go, all of you need to shut the fuck up. I am scene lead, and you need to start listening. And everybody just kind of fell in line, and then the call was really easy.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe do that. I don't know. Sometimes you gotta beat the dog a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
I mean, listen, you caught me on 3 seeds that all sucked for all individual reasons.
Yeah, but I'm a cadet. I don't know anything.
Well, I realize that, and I told you I will direct myself. Okay, I will do that. I will take the advice. Unfortunately, a part of this too, though, is that I can't take all the lead for shift 2. This needs to also come to the people that are in shift 2.
Mhm.
So I need to also address the sergeants and people who are also taking some level of control in shift 2. So
If you see me on one of your scenes, feel free to just be like, Lexington, do this, and I'll be like, okay, and then because I'm looking for that. What you need, I will do. Just let me know what you need, and I will do it.
I got you. Well, I do appreciate the talk. Thank you for your
Yeah.
honesty. You would never get striked forever.
Your
Speaking
shoes
your
are
mind.
untied.
Yeah, it's a style.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm going to sleep.
All right. Have a good one, Lexington.
Good night.
Hey, listen, honestly, sometimes you need to hear that shit. I don't like the prerogative in the PD for people to feel afraid to speak their mind. I think that it's important for people to speak their mind. Because if you never speak your mind, constructive criticism is so needed because that's what opens up discussions. And I do think that it's good that Lexington pulled that aside. I will admit, though, she is calling Flop out on something that unfortunately were 3 very, very shitty situations. The one with Dark yesterday, didn't even realize that Stonefinger did that. So that, yeah, that is something that would need to be addressed. The situation today was, I needed guidance on the call today. I won't even lie. That one I definitely broke down on. And the bank call was, I finally made the call and I kind of went for it. After discussing with people. The issue that people have, though, is that sometimes when there is an opportunity to have a discussion, people want the answers immediately. And people need to just chill out, which is where she's coming from to say shut the fuck up, which she's right. So. Definitely one of those learning curves that, again, need to be addressed. I'm gonna be honest. If people, I really hope that the niceness of Flop isn't the thing everyone takes away, though, because if that's gonna be the case, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Flop were to just respectfully step down. If people aren't gonna see him as a leader and Flop can't prove himself to people, he's just not gonna try and fight for it. You know, because I'm not. The reality is this, and I will make it clear: any decision that I ever make regarding the PD for my character, if it ever is too damning of a change that I am no longer able to play my character how I have designed to have my character played, then the role was not meant for the character. That's the reality. So if people take niceness for granted too often and it's not looked at in a positive light, then Flop will respectfully just step back and say that there's better people to pick. So we will see. If Flop turns into an asshole, I'm gonna quit. Damn. Shift 3 meeting will be spicy? How so? Why? I don't think it's gonna be that bad. We're not recapping anything. But yeah. Give me a second. Give me 1 minute. Okay. But yeah, constructive criticism is good. Let's get back on channel 2.
PMS.
Yeah, ads. I don't know. I mean, the reality is this. For at least for flop. Actually, you know what? We should come here. You should come here. The PD is definitely an interesting place.
Go for PD.
Like I said, a lot of the command shit is.
Behind the ammunition Chumash, it looks like they were intentionally blown up because it looks like there's projectiles on scene around the gas tank behind the ammunition.
Don't let people walk over you and you'll be good. But again, like I said, I think that's a shift 2 thing because that's not something that actually happens in shift 3. So.
ASAP, so it might be before anyone can get over here.
I can understand why that is confusing for people, which is, you know, I mean, that's fair. Might as well say what's up to Bass real quick. Funeral was pretty cool.
I don't know if we have any units, unfortunately, right now.
Firm.
I'll look into it. Damn. Good old Bass. Bear with me for just a second, dudes. There we go. Okay. At least he's easy to find now. True. Way to go out with a bang. Goddamn.
Oregon 1 is going to be 76 to SMH 1, critical 47.
I like the flags too. It's cool. Fun stuff. Video game stress is fun, I think. I don't even know, ads. It might be. I don't know. Have a good night, brother. I'm just having a blast in the afterlife. God damn, dudes. Y'all are violent. Is there anyone around that is high command? No. I was gonna bug out to Reddy and ask him, just say, hey, want to talk about what happened. Dispatch 220, 10-8.
220, I think we just killed a deer.
Huh?
We just killed a deer.
Hey, firm, was it an accident?
Yes.
Okay. Stand by, I'm getting a phone call. Flop to gong.
Flop Dugong.
Hello.
This is Matt Remick
What's up, Remming? How you doing, brother?
of the Paleto Bay Sheriff's Office. Are you command?
Yeah. What do you got?
Search warrant.
Send it over.
I submitted it
You
to
know.
the thing.
Oh, a search and seizure?
Yes.
All right, bear with me for just a second.
Okay, it's a big one. Big case I've been working for like a week and a half, and I'm
Okay.
ready to execute on.
Okay. Explain to me what's going on, and just give me a quick TLDR. If this is that big, I'm obviously gonna want to talk to you about it. But what do you got if it's that big, so that I can go through it properly?
Photo of a man running towards the entrance of the rest compound, giant white bag on his back.
Did you see him enter the property?
He had to have.
Was there a car back there? Did you see a car? Did you see a dumpster?
What do you mean?
If this is as big as you're stating, the issue that we run into is that we need evidence beyond a reasonable doubt here. If this is going to be no doubt that they entered this property, if there was a car back there, if there was a dumpster where things were dumped, anything would have been possible. The question's going to come into line. Did you see them enter that property? Because that's going to be...
Well, here's a good one for you.
Okay.
I know I can prove for a fact that he changed clothes, and you can't do that outside the building.
Okay.
He had to have entered that property.
Okay. I will take a look at it. I'm probably going to need a minute to kind of go through it. And
It's a long one.
okay. All right. Go and bear with me. I will go through it.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna be honest. If we didn't see him enter that property, I don't know if we can sign this. That's gonna be a big question mark.
37 Little Bighorn.
I just realized, where is the shootout for search warrants? Uh-oh. Phoenix, thanks for the 20 months. Appreciate you. Give me a minute. Yo, Phoenix, thank you so much for the 20. I do appreciate you. Thank you. Where the fuck is this document? Search warrants. Search warrant output. This is what I need. Give me a second, dudes. His search warrant did not spit out, so I don't know what he's... Oh boy. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Oh God. Give me a minute. We gotta do some scrolling. You know, that's a good question. I haven't actually looked at the output yet. I don't see it. Oh God. He submitted it? Give me a minute, dudes. So the issue that I'm dealing with is it's not showing me actually my outputs for... me try refreshing it. Where's Barrack?
Hello, Mr. DeGong.
Hello, I got a big silly for you.
You got a big one?
A big silly question.
Big silly. Okay.
I got a big silly. Search warrant output. How long does it take to update? Because someone submitted a search and seizure, and I don't see fuck all from anything in 2023.
What do you mean?
I try and organize it by outputs for today, and it's giving me nothing. And then when I scroll, it's not even showing me anything from until like the January of 23.
So you're saying like you can't see the previous ones that have been submitted?
I see the previous ones. I just don't see. I don't see the recent ones. Like I don't see any from the last like 6 months.
What? Your shit is tripping, man.
Do you see recent search warrants that were
Yeah.
uploaded? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, the most recent one was yesterday at 9:38 Eastern.
Let me see. Are you organizing by one submitted? Let me see.
Dude, I haven't touched anything with it. I haven't organized it in any kind of special way at all.
Yeah, it's not showing me any search warrants for the last 7 days. The other issue I'm having too is Remming wants to submit a search and seizure on a property. And I asked him, I'm like, did you see him enter the property? And he goes, no, but I can prove that he changed his clothes and he would have had to have done it inside. I'm like, okay, but did you see him enter the property and exit the property? He goes, no, but I have a photo of him walking in the direction. Which, this is for what is possibly a warehouse for an entire gang. So I'm trying to see this so I can see his photos he has. Figure out what the fuck's going on. What are you adding me for?
Can you see that?
Yes.
But you can't see what is right before it.
No, I see that. What I'm talking about is the actual search warrant output where we see new search warrants being submitted so that we can review them and sign them.
That's not a thing.
What do you mean it's not a thing?
That's not a thing. They get sent to you individually, and then you sign them and post them in there.
Not a phone subpoena, a search and seizure.
Yeah, I know.
Homie, unless something's changed in the last 2 years.
No. I'm gonna explain this to you. I understand what your question is now. So that they don't actually submit the form, like the search and seizure form per se. Like they just essentially create a template and you fill it out. I guess, if that makes sense.
So did that change then? Because the way that a phone subpoena worked was that they would email it to me directly, which I could review it and check it, and then sign it and tell them that it's been signed and submitted. A search and seizure has a but a search and seizure, well, that's for a phone subpoena. That hasn't changed. For a search and seizure, there was a Google document that we had to fill out, and then we submitted, and it would get dropped somewhere.
Yeah, I know nothing of that.
Okay. Let me figure this out. Bear with me. I appreciate it.
Possible that I'm just also not informed of this, but I don't believe that that's the thing.
Okay. The only reason I'm confused is because that was the way that it always worked, and then we were given the opportunity to kind of fix it after, because the search and seizure warrant was a separate document that got submitted. So I'm gonna have to look at it real quick and see what I could do.
Yeah, you could also, just let me look.
Let me see.
There's not really anybody around to ask, but
I'll email somebody. It's all good.
yeah.
I'll get it taken care of.
Yeah, my understanding, it's just there's not like a form like that, but very well could be. I don't know.
I gotcha. Yeah, no, we've had a form for a while. I need to know where this gets sped out to now, if that's the case, and if not, then I need to figure out how search and seizures have changed. So
Yeah, because my understanding is that they fill out the template of the search warrant and then they send it to us, and if we approve it, we fill out the proper thing.
yeah, that's for phone
then
subpoenas
submit
and
it.
bank subpoenas. The way that search and seizures were that they were separate, and they got spit out into a separate drive so that like command can review it, and if they need to make edits or hyperlink anything, that they can. It was supposed to be separate, so it was organized, I guess, differently. Let me see if I can view it real quick and go from there. Or at least shoot an email and figure out what the fuck's
I don't
going
think it's
on.
any different, man, because if you go back and like look at the search warrants that have been submitted previously, like it's kind of the same layout.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know how things worked before, per se. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you have to ask somebody else. I'm gonna be of no help.
No, you're all good. Let me see what I can do, brother.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you. Bye-bye.
Later.
I think Barrick's misunderstanding the difference between because we have a search warrant output that I'm looking at right now, and it is a ginormous drive of these that have been submitted over the course of the last I think 3 years. So I have access to every search warrant output that has ever been submitted through a search and seizure. Yeah, I can't view them though. That's weird. Let me see if I can email. SNS output it drive doesn't show me recent SNSs. How do I?
Lifeline, what's your status?
Okay. Sorry.
We did not hear anybody request lifeline.
Shit. I don't think I think because this one, so I know what Reming's going for.
Right, so we have a couple of rowdy Dundee's gang up at the prison that the DOC are barricaded in the locker room. They're trying to break in. The DOC are stuck in the locker room. We need help to come over here and tell them to fuck off of the prison. Any 77s?
220. I'm gonna put a 301 out and try and get units pushed. Stand by.
We'll be on channel 5.
I can go.
Be on channel 5.
Okay. Radio check.
Two.
All right, so just to clarify, are they in the prison or are they out of the prison?
Negative. They've cleared out now, but they said they were going to be back, so we're going to put some people on catwalks and just kind of be prepared just in case something happens. But we got our guy back. They cleared out of visitation, all of the premises. We are okay now.
Okay, affirm. All right. If they come back and try and cause a ruckus, do your best to ignore them. If they try and enter, obviously that's a different story. But if anything, give us a shout.
Right. The car is still here. They're outside now, but they appear to be leaving. But they're still here. One woman just ran back inside.
Catwalks.
So the guy is no longer stuck in visitation, but they are still present here at the prison.
Okay, affirm. If they have no reason to be there and they're simply, you know, for lack of a better term, loitering, they need to be told to leave or they're getting hit with felony trespass.